Cutting back on added sugar and refined carbohydrates is one of the most effective and scientifically supported strategies for reducing visceral fat. Visceral fat tends to accumulate when insulin levels are frequently elevated, and that's exactly what happens when we regularly consume sugar-sweetened beverages, baked goods made with white flour, candies, breakfast cereals, and processed snacks. These foods digest quickly, spike blood sugar, and prompt the pancreas to release large amounts of insulin. Over time, chronically high insulin encourages fat storage, particularly in the abdominal cavity around organs like the liver and intestines. It also blunts fat burning, making it harder for the body to access its own energy stores. Fructose, especially in the form of high fructose corn syrup, plays a particularly harmful role. Unlike glucose, which can be used by nearly every cell in the body, fructose is processed almost entirely in the liver. When consumed in excess, as is common with soda, sweetened yogurts, and flavored coffee drinks, it overwhelms the liver's metabolic capacity, leading to increased fat production and deposition in and around the liver. This process contributes directly to visceral fat gain and can trigger insulin resistance and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, even in individuals who are not overweight. Replacing refined carbohydrates with whole, fiber-rich alternatives slows the absorption of glucose and supports insulin sensitivity. Whole grains like oats, brown rice, and quinoa, as well as legumes and root vegetables, provide a steady stream of energy without dramatic insulin spikes. These foods also nourish beneficial gut bacteria, reduce inflammation, and promote satiety, all of which indirectly support visceral fat reduction. It's important to approach this change in a sustainable way. You don't need to eliminate all carbohydrates. In fact, carbs are an essential fuel source for the brain and muscles. The key is quality and timing. Prioritize unprocessed, complex carbohydrates and avoid consuming high glycemic foods late at night, when the body is more insulin resistant. Start by gradually reducing sugary drinks, switching to unsweetened versions, or using naturally sweetened alternatives like cinnamon or fruit puree. Swapping white bread or pasta for whole grain versions can also make a meaningful difference over time. Be cautious about hidden sugars, too. Many products labeled as healthy, including granola bars, smoothies, and protein drinks, often contain added sugars under names like maltodextrin, agave syrup, or brown rice syrup. Learning to read ingredient labels and becoming more aware of daily sugar intake, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams per day for women and 36 grams for men, can help prevent unintentional overconsumption. While reducing added sugar and refined carbs won't cause overnight changes, studies consistently show that it's one of the most reliable ways to decrease deep abdominal fat, even when total calories remain the same. Within weeks, people often notice a drop in waist circumference, improved energy levels, and better blood sugar control. Over the long term, this single dietary shift can profoundly improve metabolic health and reduce the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even some cancers.